I tend to be a bit kind of ritualistic with movies. Watch, Leprechaun on St. Patrick's Day or Halloween on Halloween. So when it's Friday the 13th, I usually try and watch a Friday the 13th movie. And over the years, I've realized that I tend to gravitate towards the first 8 of the franchise. And I don't really watch any more after that. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with the franchise, you should know that Paramount released the first 8 movies. After that, Newline acquired the franchise, and it just hasn't been the same. Now, I know what you're thinking. Kenny, it's an exploitation slasher flick. How bad can it be? Well, in order to answer that question, I've got to talk about this. This is probably one of the worst Friday the 13th movies you're ever going to see. This is the first movie ever released by Newline. That's right. Newline just acquired the rights to one of the best horror movie franchises of our lifetime, and this is what they gave us. Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday, was released in 1993. Paramount sold the rights to Jason, but kept the name Friday the 13th for themselves, and so the title is missing altogether from the movie. Kane Hodder returns for the 3rd time to play the iconic Jason Voorhees, which is pretty cool. And in this movie, he actually gets a cameo as a security guard. Now, the movie opens up with Jason stalking a woman alone in a cabin in the woods at night. I have to say it like that because this is the opening shot of the movie. This scene is supposed to be at night. You can hear the crickets in the background, owls hooting in the distance, and all the inside scenes are dark. But this is what they use to establish the shot. This isn't some film school project that you're trying to rush together for a quick grade. This is an actual movie that you're getting ready to release to the entire world and charge people to see. Go out at night and film the scene. Jason chases her through the woods, where he's ambushed by an army of soldiers and shot down. Much like the ending to Halloween 4. This isn't the last time I'm going to refer to Halloween, although in Halloween 4 he was shot down by a bunch of backwoods locals. In this movie, Jason is shot down by what looks like the army or FBI agents. So this is where the movie already starts to bother me. Jason has always been an urban legend. Even the locals near Camp Crystal Lake think he's a legend. And that's ground zero for Jason. Now suddenly Jason is national news and makes the FBI's most wanted list? After blowing him up, they take Jason's body parts to the morgue to be examined. During the autopsy, Jason's heart begins beating, which somehow compels the mortician to eat it, allowing Jason to possess his body. What? That's the best you can come up with? You made this story up. You could have chosen any organ you wanted. You choose the heart, the one organ that's most associated with, love and compassion. Oh, Jason, you're such a romantic. In fact, by the end of the movie, you have some stupid little mini Jason running around on the ground possessing people. You could have just used that. We soon get introduced to Duke. Duke is some Dr. Loomis wannabe who's been following Jason for years and knows all about him. This isn't the last time I'm going to refer to Halloween. So Duke, was basically just put into this movie to tell us what changes Newline has made to the Friday the 13th lore. And in this scene, he tells us that Jason can possess other people. Thanks, Duke, but we kind of figured that out with the whole eating the heart thing. And by the way, we already have that movie. The Hidden came out in 1987 and has the same exact premise. But seeing how this also came from Newline, I suppose they weren't technically ripping anybody off. So Mortician Jason kidnaps some cop in order to possess him. But before he does, and I am not making this up, he straps him down to a table, lathers him up with shaving cream, and shaves him with a straight razor. Jason's got to look good before he possesses you. And where did he get the shaving supplies anyway? Did he stop by CVS? So cop Jason kills some woman, but the police end up arresting this man instead. This is Steve. Well, lucky for Steve, his jail cell is right next to Duke, the Dr. Loomis wannabe. I'm not even going to call him Duke anymore. From now on, I'm going to call him Doomis. Doomis tells us that the woman Jason killed was actually his sister, Halloween. Now, he didn't mean to kill her. He was trying to possess her, because if he possesses another family member, he turns back into his original form. Also, he can only truly be killed if he is stabbed in the heart by someone in his family. Finally, one of Jason's last living relatives is Jessica. Jessica also happens to be Steve's ex-girlfriend. How's that for lucky? What is this movie doing? They want to add to the Friday the 13th lore, but they don't want to do any work, so they just rip off a Halloween. Do you realize that the original ending to Friday the 13th Part 6 had Elias Voorhees, which is Jason Voorhees' dad, paying the cemetery caretaker to look over his son's grave? Why not explore that dynamic a little bit more? What if instead of Dumas, we had Elias trying to kill Jason? Elias doesn't even have to be the good guy. He could be trying to find Jason to help him. Anyway, Steven gets out of jail and goes to the Voorhees house to investigate. By the way, why invent a brand new Voorhees house? We already had one from Friday the 13th Part 2. Just use that one. Could you imagine exploring Jason's house and coming across this? Instead, the movie has us find this. This is the Necronomicon. Yes, the same book from the Evil Dead series. And you guessed it, this is also a Newline production. Newline was so caught up on including as much of their property as possible that they forgot to make a good movie. What else are they going to add? Freddy? Oh, we'll get to that. Steve ends up hiding in a closet to spy on Cop Jason as he possesses some guy who looks like he's an insurance salesman. Jason's old body melts and we get some amazing effects. I mean, this really is impressive. This may be the best part of the movie. It kind of reminds me of Hellraiser. And in all honesty, this is actually way better than any of the new Hellraisers. The climax of the movie takes place at the Voorhees house. This one, not that one. Jessica and Steve team up to fight against Jason. They chop off the head of some guy Jason possessed, which reveals this little creature that I guess is supposed to be Jason's soul. Well, this little mini Jason finally possesses a family member, returning Jason to his original form. That's right, we've been waiting the entire movie to see Jason do something, and we finally get the moment to throw Steve around for a while. He hits him with a rake, a shovel. He knocks over a jungle gym. Riveting horror flick. The fight goes on for several minutes until Jessica finally stabs Jason in the heart. You know what I miss in Friday the 13th movies? Exciting endings. Friday the 13th movies had the best endings ever. Remember the ending to number 3? Jason's chasing that girl all over the house. She has to jump out of an upstairs window in order to escape him. She tries to drive away, but he catches up and grabs her through the driver's side window. She runs away and hides in a barn where he finds her and they have to fight some more. She stabs him, she beats him with a log, she hangs him, she even hits him in the face with an axe. There's even a dream sequence that extends the chase scene onto the lake. That's an ending. And you know what else I miss? Being able to see Jason's face. In every movie up to this crap, they show you Jason's face, and it's so exciting to be able to see what the makeup artists come up with. At first he's just deformed, but as the movies go on, he gets more and more decayed like he's been rotting for all these years. Oh man, I love this stuff. Not this movie though. It doesn't even look like you can get the mask off if you tried. It looks like it's melted onto his face. After Jason is destroyed, we get a shot of his mask being pulled underground by Freddy Krueger. And this is what I believe to be the driving force of the entire movie. Newline was probably willing to greenlight any script, no matter how stupid, just to be able to tease the idea of a Freddy and Jason crossover, which they would give us 10 years later. And why stop there? Newline seems so eager to mash up their franchises. How about a Jason versus Freddy versus Critters versus Hobbit franchise? Look, this movie has tons of flaws and plot holes. The acting is terrible. It barely even has Jason. But it's fun. If you're in the mood for a campy horror flick, this might be what you want to watch. You'll get a good laugh, and it makes for a fun drinking game. But if you want a Friday the 13th movie, this one is not for you. And if you're new to the Friday the 13th franchise, welcome. It's one of my favorite franchises for a reason. They're a lot of fun. Maybe you've only seen the remake, and the remake isn't that bad. Take some time, sit and watch the first few, and you'll be hooked. So what do you think? Are the Paramount movies actually better, or am I just being picky? What's your favorite Friday the 13th movie? Comment down below, let me know. And until next time, keep watching movies.